Right Honorable Ikwinyi Owaji Ibani, former Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, joins us this morning now to take a look at some of the issues that have now transpired in the River State, in River State in general. I don't want to say the House of Assembly. Good morning, Right Honorable former Speaker. We have to thank you so much for staying with us this morning.
Thank you for having me as former Speaker, River State House of Assembly, and of course, a long-time serving legislator of River State extraction. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, as somebody who is vastly experienced in terms of how the processes work in the River State House of Assembly, and as somebody who is also invested in the politics of your state, can you give us your own first overview of what exactly has been transpiring, before now, the Supreme Court judgment, the reactions to the Supreme Court judgment, and what transpired yesterday?
Well, first and foremost, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity, extending an invite for me to appear on your program, Sunrise, this morning. Let me say this, that I will speak and educate people on the basis of foundational knowledge of what I know about legislation, what I know, what philosophers have said about democracy, and how we, each and every one of us, can assist democracy to thrive in Nigeria. First and foremost, let me tell you, and let me tell viewers, that as a legislator, I have had knowledge of the system theory, where the interface of institutions of state and, of course, democratic institutions will interface with the political actors and participants to generate policy that affect the people in good state, not in bad faith. In the circumstance, therefore, having laid this foundation, it is my expectation that politicians who practice politics in River State should be able to know the ground and the basis for which they are elected into office. That the high point of it all is the people. Anything that takes away the happiness of the people does not serve or seek the values and norms of democracy. That's what you find today. For you, you have asked me to give an overview of what transpired from the Supreme Court judgment up to what happened yesterday at the River State House of Assembly gate, not inside the River State House of Assembly premises anywhere. Because in legislation, you can only give account of what happened within the precinct of a legislature and not outside the precinct of a legislature. I thank the Supreme Court for the judgment, for defending the values and norms of democracy in Nigeria. Otherwise, democracy is in peril, especially at the subnational level like River State. When demagogues ascend the throne of democracy, that is what you find. You can see that when assassins of democracy are elected anywhere in the world to assume the throne of democracy, democracy is in peril. Today, the issue we are handling didn't start today. It was generated from a source like a tropical storm, a tornado that was building, and it has a course, a trajectory that it has followed. What you are finding today in River State is the landform of the tropical storm that gathered 2 years ago. So what you will find, which you cannot even stop as a journalist, is that the tropical storm generated somewhere from a source. It has its origin. What you are finding today are the features, the manifestations, the landfall of the tropical storm that started almost 2 years ago. So for me, it is not new, but I want to educate and advise our people that they should allow the people of River State to benefit from their pain, from their suffering, having voted people into power to oversee their affairs, to spend their money. If I want to lay a little foundation, if you give me the time to do so, you know that David Einstein says that politics is the authoritative allocation of value. When that authority is given to you to allocate value, you have to allocate the value in the interest of the people, in the interest of the state, and of course, the institutions which you seek or you serve to protect. So for me, what happened yesterday, I have asked questions because the legislature, as I know, has what it calls legislative calendar. What is a legislative calendar? A legislative calendar is a timetable, a framework that the legislature in every legislative year will set for itself when to go on recess, when to sit, when to reconvene under emergency situation. All these things put together form what we refer to as the legislative calendar. For me, today I would ask, as one interviewing me, do you have the legislative calendar of the River State House of Assembly? Does the governor have the legislative calendar of the River State House of Assembly? That is where interaction behind the scene comes in. What happened yesterday, nobody should treat it in isolation. It should be taken holistically. It didn't just happen because it was to happen yesterday. It started from somewhere. So if you find what happened yesterday in analysis, you should not take it in isolation. If you take it in isolation, you will not be able to get the answer. Therefore, it is my hope as a former legislator, as one who sat for almost 8 years on the throne as Speaker, River State House of Assembly, having sat there, interface with the governor who succeeded very well as governor of River State in terms of infrastructure, in terms of capacity building and others, and was adjudged even beyond the shores of Nigeria that he did well. You can find out, if you go historically, you find out that as Speaker, I did not for one day had issue with Governor Nyesom Wike, who now is the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory. And that was why the people had development. That's why today, if you come to Port Harcourt, you can see so many bridges, flyover interchanges that are being painted blue and white. If they were not there, if there was no peace, of course, the people of River State and those who do business, those who come in through the airport and through the road transportation network wouldn't have been enjoying what they are enjoying today. So it is my advice that when you are elected into a position of trust and authority, your personal interest should take the background while the interest of the people should take the foreground. This is what I know. And I know that what happened yesterday, I've been asking questions. Was there a transmission? Was there an exchange of correspondence between the Speaker and the Governor of River State? If there was none, and of course, the answer is known to you, your guess is as good as mine. Because you can't, if you don't know the legislative calendar of the legislature, a governor or a president cannot just walk to the National Assembly, or in this case, a sub-national legislature, to present budget. The process that will lead to that is the exchange that goes on behind the scene to ensure that the governor comes and budget is presented in the interest of the people.
Claire, I mean, just that statement which you made now, I mean, clearly it does appear that you are taking the side of the River State House of Assembly in this dispute. But some people will say that in this matter, the River State House of Assembly had invited the governor to come and submit the budget. They had given an ultimatum to the governor, 48 hours it was that they said, and they said if he didn't come within that period that they were going to go on recess. Clearly they haven't gone on recess, and clearly they're still expecting the budget to be presented to the governor, I beg your pardon, to the House of Assembly. So it's unclear, but what we know is that it does appear that a letter from the governor was said to have made the rounds yesterday. The governor himself granted an interview saying that he tried to reach the speaker to, negotiate or to say that he was going to come and give this budget. Even if, there was no, there was no communication in that regard, would you say that this is the best way to treat an executive governor of the state?
You see, your question, you are becoming emotional. The question you ask me is too emotionally based. You look at institutions, the rule of law, and how they function in a democracy. You have what is called checks and balances. You have what is called separation of powers. Philosophers who brought about these things to ensure that democracy work didn't become emotional in expounding or or propounding these theories. It is not the issue. The issue is not about a particular person. It's about the institution. The institution of the legislature is the first port of call in every democracy. And for God's sake, they should be treated in that manner. Even though they see them as those who are also part of the wretched of the earth. But legislation means a lot when you are doing it for the people and when it comes to democracy. A governor, whether in Rivers State or elsewhere, cannot just drive down to an assembly to say you want to present a budget. There must be exchanges in terms of the appropriation bill that you are sending or you are intending to present before an assembly. Was there such exchange or communication in terms of the appropriation bill that you are coming? I do not think in any material particular that any member, because right from yesterday when I saw the news, I had to call them, find out, did the governor present or send any advance copy of the appropriation bill that he sought to present yesterday? They said no, that they don't have such copy. Secondly, I asked if there was a formal letter, formal correspondence from the governor of Rivers State to the speaker, intimating him of his coming to present such. If there is anything like that and the speaker turned down, that is the point. You begin to ask some of these questions. I asked for acknowledgement copy of such correspondence. They said there was nothing like that. I have operated as speaker from 2015 to 2023. The governor of Rivers State, even when I went to him to inform him when Wike, the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, was governor, when I went to him to come and look at the state of assembly quarters, the members' quarters, for him to come, he had to write to me. He had to call me to inform me that he will be visiting the quarters of Rivers State House of Assembly. I will now put the members on notice to tell them that the executive governor of Rivers State was coming. He couldn't have driven down there to say that he wants to come and inspect, knowing that it's a different institution headed by a different official of government. So what I am saying here is, I'm not looking at it from a biased point of view. I'm looking at it as a legislator and one who knows the dynamics. You see, it is not everything.
Just a moment, right, Honorable Ibadi. I just want to quickly chip this in. First, are you saying that this is a lack of respect amongst the three arms, one? And then two, some people will say that the House of Assembly is supposed to be the people's place, and that at any time, anyone should be able to walk in there. It doesn't appear that the Rivers State House of Assembly is currently operating an open door policy. Is it?
The House of Assembly is a major hope of the people in a democracy. Anybody that finds it difficult to have access to a legislator who represents him or her maybe should be schooled in what is right or what he should be able to know his right or his wrong. Legislators are more accessible than any other official serving in the other two arms of government. I can tell you this, that in the legislator's house, our constituents walk in freely. Legislators' office, they walk in freely. Their constituency offices, they walk in freely to tell them their needs and what they demand of them. And I know it has not changed. This is part of our democracy. This is what I know. But that for a governor, you know there is condition precedent. Let us not shy away from these things. Because if you shy away, even the question you are throwing or you are asking me will not be complete. There was a condition precedent. In Rivers State, what if I want me to score Rivers State, the present government? We have used 2 years to quarrel. 2 years to quarrel. That is our scorecard. So if we have used 2 years to quarrel, and now you want to now do it for the people, you want to now bring about development, because you have brought about quarrel for 2 years. Now you want to bring about development. You should not, there is no straitjacket rule. You must be able, as a politician, to ensure that you play your own part very well. You know, this world of social media, everything people who want to depend on social media. Social media does not work in legislation. In legislation, because you are making law that will either man or make society, you have to be extremely careful. If you are not careful, you bring about bad law. In classification of law or legislation, there are two
the pulse of the people. But Honorable Speaker, I'm afraid that we are totally out of time.
If you are not careful, you make a bad law.
I'm so sorry. We're totally out of time. There's only so much that we can take. I'm hoping that we will be able to bring you on at another time. But we have to thank you for speaking with us this morning. Right Honorable Ikunyi Owajibani is a former Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, having served from 2015 to 2023. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me. No time. You can take me. I want to take another time on this issue because it is pertinent that we grow our democracy, that people like Padensaya, Rawane, Fahimi fought for. Those who are in position now, most of them don't know that people fought for democracy. We should be able to grow this democracy so that we don't kill, because this is one of the ways democracy can die. If you allow assassins, demagogues to occupy public office in a democratic setting, of course, they attack legislative institutions, the same institutions that defended them, the same institutions that legitimized them.
Thank you most kindly. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Democracy will die in Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you too.